Hi everyone, it's Andrew here again, and this week I want to talk to you about the various modes and the buttons within the inside of the car. Now, after the last video of the trip to Cork, a few people asked me about comfort mode. I kept talking about comfort mode and how I had driven all the way in it, and I'd explained that there was a couple of modes, but I didn't really go into much detail. So, there are a bunch of things that happen within the car itself. So, throughout that last video, and have a look at it, it was my first proper long trip from Kerry to Cork and back again, just to show off the very impressive range of the Hyundai Kona Electric from Adams of Tralee. And I kept mentioning that I had driven the whole way in comfort mode. So, there are 3 modes within the car itself, all controlled by this button here, drive mode. Now, every time you press drive mode, it changes. So for instance, it's in comfort mode right now. You see that there's the range of 246 kilometers on the screen. If I press it once, it changes to sport mode. Now it's got this cool fancy orange and red glow, and the car actually does speed up a little bit. It does give you an extra bit of oomph if you'd like. But you'll also notice that in the top right hand corner there, it's now changed to 243 kilometers, because obviously you go into sport mode, it then changes into the battery, and the range is affected by that. If I press the drive mode button again, it changes to eco mode. Now eco mode is very cool because the range, as you see in the top right hand corner, has gone up to 250 kilometers now, and it's got this lovely green speedometer in front of you. There is a 4th mode, but I'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to go back to comfort mode just a second. I'm going to put on my seatbelt so that you get to see. We get rid of the seatbelt light there. And if I put the car into drive. Now, this is quite cool. You see the level 1 recuperation. So that's all to do with these paddles here. There's one on the left, one on the right. The left paddle brings the recuperation to level 2 and to level 3. The right paddle brings it back down a level again. That is, and you can also go to 0, that is the level of resistance that the car actually has when you take your foot off the accelerator. It charges the battery essentially. The car will automatically begin to slow down, and you can see that over here on the left hand side you see the power and the charge. Now I'm stationary, I'm not moving, so obviously there's nothing on that right now. But when you press the brake, or when you use what's called the regeneration, these paddles, you'll see that the charge, a blue little boxes will shoot down to show how much battery, how much power is going back into the battery, which is quite cool. And obviously when you press the accelerator, it goes white and shoots back up, just like a rev counter if you like. Depending on how fast and where you are, let's say if you're on the motorway, you can take your foot off the brake, and the recoup, as long as it's switched, okay, so it's on level 0. If you take it off and you put it onto level 1 or level 2 or level 3, then there's more resistance. So as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will automatically begin to slow down and will automatically begin to send power back into the battery again. That's probably the easiest way I can explain it without getting too very technical. It's basically economical driving, and as long as you haven't got the accelerator down flat out, then you'll get so much range out of this amazing car, the Hyundai Kona Electric. I told you there was a 4th mode. The 4th mode is Eco Plus. So if you hold your finger down on drive mode, it changes to this. Now, it says drive mode Eco Plus. It's still the green screen from the previous Eco mode. It has an automatic level 2, which again, you can change as you go along. But it has you limited to 90 kilometers an hour, because if you're driving along at 90 kilometers an hour, your proper eco driving, you can put the car into cruise control, leave it at 90 kilometers an hour, especially if you're driving along a motorway, if you'd like. I mean, obviously the motorway is 120. A dual carriageway, let's say for instance, where there is a bit of traffic but not too much that you have to constantly slow down. So there's technically 4 modes. So if I press that again, I'll go back into comfort mode, and there you are. That's pretty much it. Now, I'll talk you through some of the other buttons then as well. So you'll see the electronic handbrake is there. Also, we have our general drive buttons. There's the reverse, park, drive and neutral, all of which need to be pressed while you have the brake pressed. So handbrake comes off, you can hear that. Put it back into park now, put back up the handbrake. So we've shown you drive mode. This is a cool button here in the middle. This is heated steering wheel. A heated steering wheel will come in very handy, especially if you're out after getting into the car in the early morning. It's cold, it's icy, it's ugh. You put on the heated steering wheel and it's quite nice. It doesn't take too long either and heats up fairly quickly. As well as the heated steering wheel, you have 2 front seat heated seats. So you've got 3 levels. Level 3 will get hot fairly quickly, obviously level 2 and level 1. Again, very handy. But the cool thing about using both the electric or the heated steering wheel and the heated seats is that it doesn't affect the range. So for instance, if I put on the aircon or I put on the heater, you'll see that the kilometers range slightly drops because you've got the heater and the fan on, or the aircon. Whereas if you put on the heated steering wheel, oh that's nice now, or the heated seats, doesn't actually affect the battery and the range in any way. Obviously then you've got auto hold and you've got your parking sensors. Your parking sensors is for when you're reversing with the camera, and auto hold is for when you're on a slight hill. And that pretty much explains the button side of it. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense. The Hyundai Kona Electric is available at Adams of Tralee. And as one of their brand ambassadors, I was only delighted again to take the car from them in the early parts of 2020. I have loved driving it so far and getting to know all the different gadgets and all the different things that go along with driving an electric car. And that explains the 4 modes technically. Next week's video, I'm going to show you how to charge the car, how much it costs, and the very efficient way of actually doing it. That'll be next week's video. But as always, thanks for watching.